Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we're going to be seeing this new matchup with Blue Green Imperialdramon making an appearance on the left, and a brand new deck, a blue variant, making use of a completely different starter, the Slayerdramon Turbo, as we've been calling it. Both these decks obviously came into prominence around the same time that their relative starter decks came in. One of them less impactful than the other. This one also seeing some stuff from EX02 as the Seasonmon hits the field. And the starter deck Quadramon going to drop, pass over to 4 and draw 2. Main gimmick of this deck is revolving around the having 8 cards in hand. It is largely still based on the starter deck, but we did make some adjustments to try and up the power creep a little bit. No hits on that BT8 searching Veemon, but the EX2 Veemon, or EX1 Veemon rather, is going to be threatening jamming, as is this Seasonmon. Going for the vanilla 6k, no inheritance needed. Aero Veedramon going to pass over, gives us jamming for 3. Now board is thinned down. If you can go into Stingmon, then we might be in trouble for the Pyldramon. Was trying to play outside of the swing over range, but 7k versus 6k is going to be the same either way. Going to jamming into security, going to hit the Wingdramon. And we are going to see the Kumamon, so it doesn't look like we have a green source in hand. Going to strip the Shaomon out, and that is the one hybrid for game gone. Does have a Dino Bee in hand, but obviously doesn't have the green source. Is looking to go over it raw. Gonna go into the Pyldramon. Pass over 3 memory. I'll threaten if we do swing with the jamming this next turn. Gonna build up the Gabumon in the back. Well, you've got 8 cards in hand. Gonna gain that 1000 DP. Doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but is an all turn, so it does make your bodies a little bit bigger. So we do have 8 cards in hand, so this is gonna gain the extra check, and it is unblockable and gains 1 check whilst swinging on the turn that it digivolves, so all 3 security gone. No Tamer to hybrid over, no memory to go for, but we are going to play the Jerry for 4 memory. Jerry pretty cool. Anytime something swings, can just tap it in order to get the draw 1, so we'll do that. And it doesn't have to swing at a Digimon like the TK, so it can be quite useful. Just to keep that hand size nice and big. Stingmon is going to come out. And doesn't quite have lethal. Actually might be able to lethal. Goes into the Dino Bee, which is going to stop the Slayerdramon from being able to unsuspend during the unsuspend phase. He would have had to gamble in order to make this work. Going to Hammer Spark not once but twice, gain the 2 memory, going up to 4. No jamming on either of these stacks, so if he swings in twice with the Pyldramon and then the Dino Bee, we'll be able to put for lethal. See the Imperialdramon in hand. I think he would have wanted to swing one more time, I guess, if he wanted to really threaten lethal with the DNA. And I guess you're not really worrying too much about board clear in this instance, so maybe early aggression might have been the play with the Pyldramon. Hits the Dracomon, second check, hits a Hammer Spark though, going to lose the 2 memory that he got off of those initial hammers. Ice Wall's just a little bit too late. I'm going to see the Dino Bee swing at security because he realizes that he's going to be out of cards anyway. Hit the Wingdramon, going to draw plenty. And even if he was able to get rid of the Slayerdramon, the Gabumon's just going to come out and swing next turn. Going to go in to that Imperialdramon Dragon mode. Pick up 1 blue source, 1 green source. Both of those probably would have been able to come out in DNA, but no memory for it now. And Slayerdramon isn't going to unsuspend, but the Gabumon are going to take game 1. So just kind of showing what this deck can do. It kind of surprises you. Obviously, there was no jamming on that stack, so it could have gone pretty poorly. Just like it seems like our opening hand was missing the rookie. So Quadramon going to come out, draw 2. We do see the rookie then. Speaking of, plenty of rookies coming out. Going to Digivolve for 2 rather than 3. And a little bit of a mistake there. The Parasaur shouldn't have actually been able to go over the Labramon because it can only Digivolve over green. It basically functions as that 5th Stingmon in the deck that doesn't have to reduce its cost. In some matchups actually does work out well when they've got those memory blockers out. Or I guess not memory blockers, but floodgates out. So Parasaur shouldn't have been able to DNA, although ultimately it would have been the same. Would have actually had a wider board if I'd played it correctly, because it's 2-cost Digivolution versus a 3-drop. So he's going to DNA into the Paildramon. The stack would be slightly shorter, but it's actually a super unideal stack. It's not got the Stingmon, so you're not drawing off of the swing. It's not got the XV, so it doesn't have jamming, so you're not drawing off of that either. It is just a vanilla check. It does get the unsuspend memory, thanks to the EX1 Veemon. And from there, we're just going to choke to 1. No hits, though. The hybrid, not a free type. So just going to go slightly wide. And again, he could actually have 3 bodies on the board if he'd found what he's looking for. We're just going to play the Jerry out this time. In hindsight, definitely should have played the TK. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the TK was in there, and it came down to which 4-drop Tamer wanted to play, but the memory choking, especially because he can gain back the memory himself off of the Paildramon swing, even if it died in security, it pays off. We're using the Jerry just to guarantee the draw, but once again, putting us over with minimal memory. And now he's gone wide with not just the Lydramon, but he's also got a Labramon there as well, so he can threaten to go with a better stack. Never mind, gonna go for the Veemon. I guess the plan is to Digivolve over it. Some sort of Jogress play. The Labramon's not doing anything in the stack, but I guess it's no longer unsuspending anymore. And I guess it signifies he doesn't have Fighter Mode in hand. Since we don't have the TK, Digivolving for 3 is going to cost us. Cordramon is going to come out, going to get us to draw 2. Didn't tap the Jerry though. Another swing, we are going to block it. Once again, doesn't tap the Jerry. So I missed 2 instances where it could have come through. This does affect the Jogress though. It looked like that was the level 4 that he wanted to go for. Willing to go with another suboptimal stack just to get that DNA pressure. Starter deck Wingdramon does give you blocker. Well, it's just a natural blocker, something that with a starter deck like this, not really seeing much play. Can run into it. Omnimon Merciful Mode is going to come down for 6, going to delete that stack, and then you get the bottom deck. Everything isn't going to bother checking the order, it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. 4 on the board. Luckily, the Cordramon coming out of security did give us 1, and this is where not tapping the Jerry certainly bit us in the butt. I don't think it's going to matter all that much, because I'm going to lose the top card of security when the Omnimon comes out, and we do actually have the V Wingblade, I think it is, but that only bounces level 6s, so the 7's actually too high for us to pop. Going to go over for 3. That's going to trash itself. Gets rid of the plugin, which would have been nice. And 3 bodies on the board, no blocker. Just going to swing. Clears the board, and then 2 swings. Clears it out. 1-1. And it looks like we're going to send that hand back, because the hand on the right looks absolutely terrible. Although the hand on the left, not fantastic either. We're choosing to go second this time. And just going to see a raw Stingmon. Labramon out. If we do get jamming, we're going to search the top 3, and we're going to take the Aero Veedramon rather than Cordramon. And we do have the TK Tamer this time. We're just going to put it down, make sure that we're not getting memory choked. Only downside to the TK Tamer is it does require them to swing at one of your blue Digimon, unlike the Jerry. So if you can ideally get the TK out and then have the Jerry, then you can really start like applying pressure. This deck doesn't have any other ways to gain memory outside of the Hammer Spark. Digivolve for 2. Dracomon going to swing, is going to hit and die instantly. I'm just going to go jamming up in the back. We are at 7 cards in hand, or 6 cards in hand, going to go up to 7 next turn. And the Paildramon is out. A very, very quick Paildramon play. And this one does actually have a decent set on it. We're going to get the draws going, and it hits a Gabumon. Now, do you go straight into, yeah, straight into Dragon Mode. Just going to bring out the Lydramon. And can bring out the Stingmon as well to threaten for Jogress next turn. Is level 6. We're going to push the stack out, but think better of it. After counting cards in hand, just going to keep it in there. Obviously, we still have the problem of you're going to play a card which brings you back down to that 6. So you're going to be going back to 7, and now you're a turn behind. Probably should have brought it out. Kind of was just betting on the Imperialdramon not being there. Hammer Spark is going to hit Insecurity once again. I should have remembered to hatch, but all in all, just casual games. Doesn't really matter that much. Building up in the back. And I'm wondering whether pushing out would have made a big difference. Would have at least been able to get a rookie building up something in the back, maybe. 3 bodies on the board once again. Really, we were just betting on him not having another level 5 in hand when we did the first V Wing Blade. Can't bounce it back a second time. Do have to push it out because we're recognizing that we are too far. And we don't actually have a means of removal. So we're going to go into the Slayerdramon. I think we just got greedy. I think we just got greedy the turn before. If we'd swung... Oh, that is hugely unfortunate. Yeah, if we just swung before, then we'd at least be ahead. And we're going to put the blocker down for 7. We recognize that there's a very good chance that another level 5 comes out. Even if it doesn't, that's 4 bodies on the board. We can go into the X Veemon, which does have jamming. Hammer Spark going to push him back up. And that's the sound of things settling in. Is going to crash into the All-Force Veemon, which didn't get to show itself off in this game, unfortunately. Megadeth, the blocker, to bounce it back to hand, and then he's going to swing with the 3 bodies. Imperialdramon going to take it 2-1 in this best of 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of matchup of the blue starter decks. It was a lot of fun playing something that was a little bit lower power. We'll try and bring a couple more games before it goes back to its rightful owner, but until then, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.